Hello and welcome back to the Ollie Ecom channel. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. Before I start this video and go into why I've actually closed this store, I am actually doing a giveaway at the moment of a 1 month mentorship of my dropshipping experience along with the course that goes along with it. So that's a value of about $500 and all you have to do to enter is head into the comment section. The description, click the link to the Twitter, the tweet that's on there. Then all you have to do is like that tweet and retweet it, and you're entered into the giveaway. It's as simple as that. I'll pop everyone's name into a random name generator, and whoever comes up will win. I'm going to be doing that next week somewhere, so obviously if you're watching this in the future and not on the day of release or a couple of days after, it's probably already ended. So in today's video, I'm going to be exploring why I actually closed my dropshipping store that I started in January. I did a video about this at the start of February and talked about how I did the numbers I did and where I wanted to be. I did some crazy numbers on this store, and I'm basically going to go into the analytics of that store now and show you through exactly what I did to get there. I include my ad strategy in this. The only thing I'm not going to show you is exactly what the product is. So if you're here for that, unfortunately, you're not going to be very happy with the video. Okay, so welcome into the analytics of the store that I showed you. I think it was the start of February when I actually previously showed you this. I said I was going to go through at the end of February. The problem was, now you can see it just here, at the end of February, all of a sudden my analytics just drop. There's not a single sale. There's barely any sessions on the site. And obviously we've got no orders there as well. What happened there? I mentioned it in my previous video. My laptop completely broke. Shut down, not really sure what the problem was, and sent it off to Apple and got it repaired. I got it back on this day here. Was it the 6th of March? Yeah, and then started scaling it back up again. So these are the orders for the quarter to date. So this year so far, I think I did about like $500 worth of orders back in sort of September, October time to test this. But I'm not going to be going over that today because that was a while ago. So this is what I've done. As you can see, I started on the 14th and I really did start scaling up quite high, to be fair. I did, as you can see, little over $11,000 in orders over the 3-month period, which is really, really good. Now, in terms of profit margins on this, in terms of, I'm gonna have to go off my head here because I've recently got a new ad account. My previous one, you know how Facebook is, they're a pain in the arse. I've had to actually get a new ad account, so all the data for that is unfortunately gone, which is another reason why I've shut this site down, purely because of the retargeting, the pixel on there. There's a few more bits that I'll talk about later on in this video, but I'll touch on that a little bit now. So so with profit, I spent about £4,000, about £3,500 actually, during this 3-month period. Yeah, I spent £3,500 on Facebook ads alone. I didn't do any influencer marketing. I didn't use any other paid advertisements. I purely used Facebook ads for this because it's quite a niche product. And then the profit margin, I think I made about £4,000 profit from this over the course of 3 months. So it's not a ridiculous amount of money. I'd love to tell you it was more than that. But yeah, so many people will give you revenue. They'll show you that they're doing, similar numbers to this in the 5-figure range, and you expect to be taking home the 5-figure range. That's not it. You'll be taking home 5 figures when you're doing sort of, $60,000 rather than 10, if that makes sense. So the ads worked really well. I had a really good strategy on this. It was quite a niche place to go, and the product was really good. Now, the main reason I'm not doing it anymore is because I did mention this previously. It is a seasonal product. It pretty much would run from the middle of January to I could probably keep it going to the end of March, which is in a couple of days. But to be honest, I've stopped purely because of the ad account. I'd have to build it all back up again, and I'd actually end up just spending more money than I would, making profit from that. So I just I've left it as it is. I'm by no means going to get rid of this store. It's going to be one that I'm going to use a couple of times a year because it can be used sort of later on in the year as well. And yeah, so as you can see, you know, there's some really good numbers on here. There was 231 orders. Now that was backed up by some really big orders, which is great. So sort of, what have we got here? That's the average order value of 209, but there was some orders which are sort of $400, things like that, which is really good. We had a returning customer rate as well, which is really good, of 1.73. I'd have liked that to be a bit higher, but it's probably something that will come when I reopen the store in probably the end of this year. What I'll find is that customers that have previously bought and like the product will then buy again, which is really, really good. And then the conversion rate down here, 2.47. I would have liked that to be a little bit higher, but in terms of the numbers we've got here, I'm pretty happy with that. As you can see, the reach checkout is actually more than the added to cart. This is just because I use my landing page as the home page, which then is allowing people to directly go to checkout. I just find this is a better way to do it, because you find that people aren't adding to cart, leaving it in a cart and disappearing. They're putting it in, they're literally going straight from the landing page to checkout. All they have to do is input their details and then they purchase the item. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually just going to take you through what I did on my ad strategy. I'm not going to show you my ads, how they work. I'm literally just going to talk you through it, to be honest. So I'm going to head over to a Google Docs sheet and I'm going to talk you through how these ads worked, what I did with the interests, and how that worked on my end. So my Facebook ad strategy is a pretty simple one. It's the same one I teach in my course. I'm going to briefly touch on it today because it would be a little bit unfair to everyone who's purchased my course to then just give away my full ad strategy. But what I am planning to do is in the future, probably I'm working on it currently, so maybe in a month or so, I'm releasing a ad strategy video and ebook. So if you don't want to get my dropshipping course because you're not into dropshipping, do want to know how Facebook ads work, I'm going to be releasing a video tutorial about that, and also an ebook to go along with it. The ebook's going to be extremely detailed in the fact that I talk through absolutely everything that goes on in Facebook ads and why you would select each one. So this is just me putting together how I would structure it and exactly how I did it with my current one. This is just me pretending that this is a pet product, just so I don't give away what my actual product was. So I simply did 3 ad sets to start with at £20 per day. So if it was a pet product that was, let's say it's some sort of brush for a dog or a cat, I went with some very vague ones. So things like dog and cat are going to be obviously very vague. They're going to have a massive audience, and we're not going to be, honing down on exactly what those customers have compared to other customers. I then decided to do some slightly more specific ads. So went with one that was excuse my phone there, is a golden doodle, which is obviously a dog breed. So, that might actually have really good impact. Now, the reason I went with dog, cat, and golden doodle for this was purely just to show you like how vague they are. So, and then I sort of started honing in on then I started narrowing down what people were going for. So people who, let's say, were under the cat niche didn't actually quite like this product, so I'd remove that, whereas the golden doodle one went really well. As soon as I removed the cat one, I would then add another more specific one, but the dog one would keep going, and you'd add sort of variations from that. I also did, along with this, so each one of those ad sets had one video ad and one picture carousel ad. So they were really, really simple. I just put a video ad together of this product, and it worked really, really well. The video ad obviously had more of a conversion rate, but the picture ad did just as well. It had some extra details on it, I think, more than anything else, which was really, really interesting. And actually, I think a lot of people who had previously seen the picture ad then came back and did that again. So the next part of my ad strategy that I actually went ahead and did is, once I had sort of 3 ad sets which were tracking at a fairly decent, numbers wise, they were bringing in a decent amount of profit. The ROAS was at a good point. What I actually ended up doing is putting all of those together into a CBO campaign. Now, I literally, this worked really well for me. I hadn't tried it before. I got 3 of the ads which were performing the best at £20 per day. I'd scaled them up to £50 per day each. And then what I did was put them all into one campaign at, I think it was like £200 or £250 per day. And I scaled it right up to that point, which was really good. And that got some crazy, crazy numbers. And while I did that, I was still testing other ad sets to go along with that. Now, this may seem like a lot of information. Now, you've also got to remember that this all happened over the course of 3 months. I wouldn't recommend doing all this in one day. You set your ad sets, your 3 ad sets up, you leave them for 2 days, and then you go back and do them again, later on down the line. So this CBO campaign was something that actually went on so if I show you here, so I think I started the CBO campaign about here, and that just skyrocketed the results. I think this bit just here was me turning off the ads for a couple of days while I changed some of the statistics around. And then obviously this bit here dropped it right down. But then all I did is turn the ads back on and boom, it was straight back up again. So it was really interesting to play around with these ads on this because it was something that I had done before, but the actual the scale of the amount of people who were interested in this product was really interesting. It was people from various different backgrounds. Some people had professional backgrounds on it and some people were very amateur, which is why I found this product really, really interesting. But yeah, I mean, I thought I'd just really do a video on why I've sort of shut this down, and that was it really. There's nothing more to it than, it's a seasonal product. I'll be starting it back up again at the end of this year. And also, I did stop it a little bit early. I was hoping to do sort of January, February and March and get 3 full months. Unfortunately, with me losing my laptop and a couple of other problems as well, it just meant that I wasn't doing the sort of numbers that I meant to do. But if we go to February, I was really, really happy with February's results. So let's just go there. Yeah, so I think that's a crazy amount of money to do in 1 month, especially with February being one of the smallest days, smallest months in the year. So it's crazy numbers, and then you can see just here as well. It was sort of the end of February when it actually started to dip, which is super interesting. So yeah, I mean that's sort of the video. It's nothing crazy. I just wanted to show you guys because I did say in my previous video I'd be doing it again and showing you how that all worked. So yeah, I'll head back to the summer house. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you learned something here. I know I went on a little bit. I was waffling all the way through it, but I basically wanted to get as much information out as possible. So if you found it a little bit boring, I do apologize. Next week, I'm going to have a bit more of a fun video, but I did feel like I sort of had to give you guys this explanation because I said I was going to do a video at the end of February. I never did it. It's now the end of March, and I definitely feel like I should do a video for you guys. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well so you get notified when I post another video. Obviously, if you like this video, it'd be brilliant. Drop me a comment if you've got any video ideas you'd like me to do. I'm always up for new video ideas because it does get very difficult to think of video ideas. I didn't think it would be. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.